This season, I've been testing and reviewing the Insta360 X4 camera for snow sports, and this is my review. Insta360 have very kindly sent me the camera along with all the associated accessories required for snow sports, so I've not had to pay a penny for any of this, so I'm very thankful for the opportunity. But I'm not in any way sponsored by Insta360, and this is not, strictly speaking, a paid promotion, although of course I have received the camera as payment. But my views are 100% my own and impartial. So first of all, just let me say that this is a truly phenomenal piece of technology. Purely as a camera, it is exceptional. The image quality and the sound quality are brilliant, not to mention all the fantastic, creative and amazing things you can do with a 360-degree camera. But this is not an action camera. Let me explain. For me, an action camera is something you can put in your pocket and just grab out any time that you want to film, and then put it away again once you're done and forget about it. Or equally, you can attach it to your helmet, leave it there all day, just press go whenever you want to record, and again, just forget about it. It doesn't interfere with your enjoyment of your day at all, it's just simply there for when you need it, and you completely forget about it when you don't. Such as a GoPro camera, other brands are available. But unfortunately, neither of these things apply to the Insta360 camera. It's just quite simply too big and too heavy to be used in the same way that you would use a GoPro camera. I don't have the exact numbers to hand, but it is around about 3 times the size and at least twice as heavy as my GoPro Hero 7 camera. So, while that may not sound like much, it is significantly bigger and significantly heavier. And this really does impact on how you use it. While yes, the X4 camera will fit in most pockets, at least the kind of pockets you're going to get on a ski jacket or ski pants, but it's significantly big enough that you can feel it when it's there. When you're sitting down on the chairlift, even when you're skiing and you're moving around, you can feel it when it's on your person. Whereas something like a GoPro, generally speaking, you barely notice it's there. While yes, that is a minor gripe, it is still a gripe nonetheless. I've actually never got around to using the X4 camera on my helmet. I injured my knee earlier in this season, so I've never actually got the chance. But I can just tell from its size and weight, you're going to be able to feel it when it's on your helmet. You can barely notice a GoPro, but with the X4, you will definitely notice it when it's on your helmet. It's not just the weight, it's also the weight distribution. Being a long, tall camera, longer levers mean greater force, so when it is on your helmet, you can notice it even more again because its centre of gravity is further away from your head, so it's going to have a greater impact when your head's moving around. So I know from other users that they don't like leaving it on their helmet all day, just simply because of the weight. You can feel it when you're skiing, and it's going to be off-putting. But you wouldn't want to leave it on your helmet all day when resort skiing anyway, because it's going to get hit on the bar of a chairlift every time you're getting on and off the chair. You can hit it on tree branches, you can hit it when you're going in and out of buildings, etc. So you need to constantly taking it on and off all day anyway. And that necessitates bringing a bag with you with your skiing, which many people do anyway, and if that's what you do, that may not be a problem. But personally, when I'm resort skiing, especially if I'm just going out for a few hours, I like to leave the bag at home. It's just extra faff every time you're going on and off the lift. I like to just stuff all my pockets with everything that I need, and with my big ski jacket and baggy ski trousers, generally speaking, I can. But that's not the case with the X4 camera. Not least because you don't just need to carry the camera with you, of course, unless you are using it on a helmet. But assuming you're not using it on your helmet, then you also need the selfie stick and or the chest mount, which again is more stuff to carry. And you definitely cannot fit the selfie stick in any pocket, it's too long. I have tried this. I have been out once with the X4 camera without my bag, tried putting everything in my pockets, and it was just not a good day at all. To carry the selfie stick in your pocket, you couldn't do it up properly, so then you risk losing the selfie stick. I resorted to putting it inside the goggle pouch inside my jacket, but then you just feel like if you fall over, you're very, very much at risk of getting impaled by the selfie stick, so that's not a good option at all either. So therefore, anytime you do intend to use the camera, you need to bring a bag with you, regardless of whether you actually want to carry anything else in the bag. And this goes back to an action camera being designed to not interfere with your day and detract from the enjoyment of your skiing, biking, climbing, whatever it is that you're doing. That's just simply not the case with an X4 camera. You always need to constantly be taking it in and out your bag, setting it up, packing it away again, planning your shot, planning on what you want to do with it. Which is fine if you're a videographer, a vlogger, blogger. If your purpose with going out for the day is to shoot footage, then the X4 camera is an amazing camera and that will do exactly what you want it to do. If your goal of the day is to go out, enjoy your skiing, enjoy your biking, enjoy your climbing, and you just simply want to capture some footage to share with friends and family, then the X4 camera definitely is not for you. I've taken it out with me on some absolutely fantastic powder days, wanting to record the powder and record my day and enjoyment. Of course, I am a YouTuber, but half the time I just didn't want to get out my bag. It's just too much faff, and it just gets in the way of your skiing. So in that regard, it's not a very useful action camera at all. I could have been capturing the whole day on my GoPro, but with the X4, most of the day it spent in my bag, so I missed out on capturing a lot of potentially amazing footage. It's as if the designers for the X4 camera were given the brief to make the best possible camera available with current technology of today. And that's exactly what they've done. They've achieved that. As a camera, it is truly phenomenal, but they haven't given much thought as to how it's actually going to be used by the average layperson. Probably the most common way to use any kind of 360-degree camera is with an invisible selfie stick. But again, with the X4 being so heavy, this can be genuinely problematic. Okay, if you're built like me, a rugby player, a climber, big burly bloke, it's just a minor inconvenience, it's not a big issue, the weight of the camera. But when again, you consider the force of levers, when you extend the weight of the camera a metre plus away from you on the end of the selfie stick and try holding it on your arm for any prolonged period of time, it is really quite unpleasant and quite difficult. And for some people, it's just simply impossible. I've lent my camera to a friend for a day to do some filming for me, and she was unable to ski with it on the ski pole mount with the selfie stick extended. It was just simply too heavy for her to hold for more than a few seconds with the selfie stick extended. Of course, you can still use it with the selfie stick collapsed, so it's only that far away from you instead of that far away from you, but that reduces the quality of the footage and what you're able to do with it in post-production. So while yes, me complaining about the weight of the camera may seem fairly trivial, but it genuinely is a non-trivial issue for some people. But its size and weight aside, if you think of the X4 as a vlogger's and videographer's tool, a camera to either be used by professionals or amateurs who want to do a lot of creative things with their photography and videography, then again, as I said at the start, the X4 is pretty phenomenal. The picture quality is amazing, the sound quality is really, really good. There are tons of things you can do with it. You can adjust all different settings and programs and so on, but equally, if you're someone who's a bit like me, a bit of a Luddite when it comes to technology, and you're not an experienced photographer, you don't know what ISO and all these different things mean, you can just leave everything in auto and it does a pretty damn good job vast majority of the time. So you'll get some really good quality footage without adjusting all the various settings and playing around with them too much. I've used this camera sitting in my garden to film in single lens mode as I'm doing now, so having the sound setting set as directional, so pointing at me, and I live on a pretty busy road. There's cars going up and down the main road constantly all the time. Yet, as you'll hear from this footage, you can barely hear that traffic noise, which is only 20 metres away from me at all. Yet you can hear me talking almost perfectly. These are the Falcon goggles, but I don't actually know what colours they sent me, so let's open that up and have a look. And then of course, there's all the super creative things you can do with the image in post-production to really boost the quality of your filming. So if, like me, you are someone who makes long-form YouTube videos, for example, using the X4 camera has seriously boosted the quality of my output just by increasing the creativity of what I can do with just one camera. I spend a lot of my time filming with a GoPro looking at me, and it gives a pretty boring image to be honest, but with the 360 camera I can zoom out away from me so I can get my whole body in the shot while I'm skiing. It looks pretty cool, and I can zoom back into me while I'm talking, etc. The sky is the limit basically with what you can do with a 360 camera, as it shoots not only 360 degrees, it's a sphere. The image captures absolutely everything. So you can just stick the camera wherever you want and decide later what you actually want to focus on in filming. So it's really boosted the creativity of a lot of my videos. I really like shooting with the X4 camera when you're skiing with a bunch of other people, maybe even just one other person. But when there's other people around you, being able to pan to you, pan to them, back to you, maybe pan to someone else, panning forwards, panning back, it just gives so much variety and creativity to the shot. So it's really effective when you are skiing with a group, which is something which you cannot do with just a single lens camera. And using the camera on the selfie stick is particularly effective while snowboarding. It's fairly difficult to get a good camera angle looking back at yourself, even with a proper selfie stick when snowboarding, but with the invisible selfie stick and a 360-degree camera, you can get absolutely amazing footage and amazing shots of you snowboarding. And because you're not having to worry about ski poles and that kind of thing, your snowboarding looks almost 100% natural when you are filming with the invisible selfie stick and a 360-degree camera. I've even used the camera while ice climbing, sticking the selfie stick out the back of my rucksack, and that was pretty damn effective too. I was even able to talk to the camera while ice climbing, which is really cool, and give some really creative camera angles as well. You just need to be careful that you don't hit the camera with your axe. So if you are ice climbing, make sure you've got the lens guards on, which I'm very thankful that I was using that day. The beauty of a 360-degree camera is you don't have to worry about where you're pointing the camera and worry about if you might miss the important thing, miss some of the action. You just turn it on, press go, hold it wherever you like, and it captures absolutely everything. That means if something interesting happens that you weren't expecting off to the side somewhere, it doesn't matter that you weren't pointing the camera over there at the time, you can just pick that up in the editing process. So if your friend lands his first backflip when you're looking the other way, but you've got the camera on your helmet mount, as long as it's turned on, you're going to catch it anyway. So yeah, that is what is great about a 360-degree camera. And the thing that makes the X4 camera stand out about its predecessors and some of its competitors is you can shoot in a full 8K in 360-degree mode, which means that when you reframe the 360-degree footage, you can still export it in 4K. So you have super high image quality from your 360-degree footage, which is something that the previous X3 camera and some of its competitors can't do. Assuming you haven't been put off by what I said earlier, and you really shouldn't be, you just need to understand limitations of the camera and how it's best used. And if you do want to buy the X4 camera, or indeed any other products from Insta360, if you use my discount code, which I'll include here and in the description, then you'll receive a free accessory. And these are proper, useful accessories, carry cases, like that kind of thing, not just token mugs and keyrings, so it's well worth doing. So, in summary, the Insta360 X4 camera is a truly phenomenal camera. It's just not an action camera as I see an action camera being used. It's just a bit too big and heavy to be used in the same way that you would use a GoPro or, again, any other type of action camera. But that's okay, you just need to be aware of it. If you're a videographer, vlogger, blogger, somebody who wants to make high quality footage and their goal is to go out and make content rather than to go out and have fun skiing, then it is the camera for you. But if you're somebody who wants to really enjoy their skiing and snowboarding and just capture a little bit of footage to share with friends and family, then unfortunately, perhaps the X4 camera is not the right camera for you.